Hey, how you doing? It's DecepySwag, and today we are back with another video, and this time a new game has been released as a part of SNK's NEOGEO Premium Selection. Today we're talking about the cult classic 2v2 tag fighter Kizuna Encounter Super Tag Battle. Special thanks to SNK for providing me with a copy to give my impressions and thoughts of this port. Same as the Real About 2 video, this one will have timestamps for your viewing pleasure, so you don't have to sit around and listen to me yap. You can skip to the parts that matters to you most. First discussing the story of the game, then going over what features were added to this brand new port of Kizuna Encounter, the presentation of the game, then finally rounding out the video with my overall thoughts and opinions. So without further ado, let's get into this highly requested fan favorite tag fighter, Kizuna Encounter Super Tag Battle. Before we get into the new features added to this port for Kizuna Encounter, let's go over just what this game is about and the plot. Being a direct sequel to its predecessor, Savage Reign, which released back in 1995, Kizuna Encounter released in arcades and on the Neo Geo in September 20th, 1996. The game takes place narratively 1 year after the previous game events, where a tournament was held by the antagonist King Lion, impersonating King Leo, dubbing the event the Battle of the Beast God, which is a dope name for a tournament. I'm gonna be honest, like that's to me a little bit cooler than just saying King of Fighters. This is way cooler. This was a challenge issued to everyone in the city of Jipang City, which is formerly known as Southtown. Okay, so this game is set in futuristic dystopian era. Best way I could describe it to you would be like Mad Max mixed with Blade Runner, but everyone knows how to fight Kung Fu martial arts. So it's kind of wacky, but kind of cool at the same time. After having been defeated by the protagonist of the first game, Sho Hayate, this guy here with the boomerang, King Leo, an immensely powerful fighter, will go on to organize a second Battle of the Beast God tournament. However, what was different this time around is that this second iteration will be a 2v2 team setting, unlike in Savage Reign, which was a 1v1 style tournament. The roster for Kizuna Encounter features most of the roster from the previous title, except for two, being Carol Stanzak. She decided to skip the tournament to focus on her gymnastics training, and Nikola Zaza, who opted to skip because he was too busy working on his latest scientific project. So, fair reasons. But as far as the roster for a Kizuna Encounter, you have characters returning such as Sho Hayate, the protag of Savage Reign with the giant boomerang, Max Eagle, Choker, Gozu, Mezu, Gordon Bowman, Chun Paifu, who I swear to you has to be a reference to Master Roshi from Dragon Ball GT. I mean, just look at their designs, it's damn near 1-to-1. Then lastly, you have King Lion and King Leo. Okay, so before we even continue, let's clear this up the best way I can, because I had to get this straight myself too when I was writing this. King Lion, this dude here, is working for King Leo. Leo gave Lion the name and is his subordinate and was sent to fight the others to determine if they were worthy enough to fight him being King Leo, the actual boss. So if you ever seen Naruto, this is much like when Madara Uchiha gave Obito his name to run around and do stuff, striking fear into the other nations, while the greater plan Madara had went into effect. Hopefully that makes sense. But that's not all of the characters in Kizuna Encounter. In this sequel, we are introduced to the new protagonist of the game, that being Rosa with the nickname Deep Crimson Vixen, and fun fact, is voiced by Hiroku Tsuji, who is the voice of Mature in the King of Fighters franchise. So off the rip, I'm gonna be biased because I love Mature. Then we have the other protagonist of the game, Him Soo-il, a Korean detective that practices Taekwondo and has a very strong sense of justice. Now, I wonder where I heard something like that before. Oh yeah, he also practices Bojutsu, so that's really dope. And rounding out the new characters introduced is a secret boss character named Jiazu, who killed the brother of Gozu and Mezu and are trying to avenge him. Also, I just need to say this, Jiazu probably has one of the coolest looking designs for a boss character I've seen for an SNK game, which funny enough, my first time seeing this character isn't from Kizuna Encounter, but actually from the King of Fighters 11, where both he and Sho Hayate are in the roster, which even funnier, that game is also a tag fighter. Now, whether or not that was intentional from SNK having them be in that game for that reason, I have no clue. But it's cool getting to play the game series they're originally from. So with the plot and story out of the way, let's get to what you all care about. What's new about this port? Like the port before in NEOGEO Select Premium, Retrofitted Real About 2, this new Kizuna Encounter port has all the amenities offered to it thanks to SNK and Cold Mystics working hand in hand on another SNK IP. But for those that may not have seen that review and not know, I'll go through and quickly give you the rundown of what you can expect if you buy this game. So, local play. Starting with local play, you have a variety of options. Single player mode where you play against the CPU in arcade mode, 2-player versus, which is self-explanatory, you and another person facing off with your own teams. Then we have 2-player co-op, allowing you and another player to team up and play against the CPU in arcade mode together. Then this is where things get interesting with this port. Next we have 3-player mode, allowing 2-player tag team to go against a third solo player. And finally 4-player mode, which allows 4 players split into 2 tag teams to play against one another. This caught me off guard like in the craziest way. I wasn't expecting them to put anything like this. Truth be told, the most I was expecting was like, okay, 2-player co-op, which I would have been cool with. And I would have been like, that's dope. But they went the extra mile to not only have 3-player mode, but as well as the 4-player. Also, for anyone that was wondering, you are indeed able to play as Jiaozu and King Leo. All you have to do is hover over Gozu and tap up and Jiaozu will appear. And if you move over to King Lion and tap up, King Leo will appear and be playable as well. However, important to note, because they're boss characters, they can only be played by themselves. They do not get a tag partner. Another thing to note is that at the title screen, of course it does say Kizuna Encounter Super Tag Battle, but underneath it says 4-way battle version. And after doing some research, apparently this version wasn't released except for some playtest locations back in the 90s. Now, I could be wrong in saying that, and if so, please correct me down below, but that seems to be the case from what I've read. Rounding out the local play options is of course practice mode. Within the practice mode, you have your options such as player 2 action, allowing you to choose what the character do, whether jumping or crouching, record moves for the dummy, or have them be controlled by another person. Then you have the player 2 attack options, letting you choose between strong and heavy buttons, attack weapons and universal overheads, blocking options, health options for both players, an option for having weapons dropped or not, since that is a mechanic of the game where weapons can be dropped much like Sam showed. Then we have the speed you can adjust to slow down from 100 to 50 to 25. And lastly, you have your options for inputs to be shown as well as hitboxes. Also, you of course have the option for checking your character's skill list along with the help button to explain what certain symbols mean. This option is also available in both practice mode and while actively playing a match, so that's always helpful in case you forget how to do a move. Just be sure to tag in the character whose move you want to see. For online, Kizuna Encounter, just like the previously mentioned Real Bout 2 port, has been upgraded with rollback netcode from the Wizards of Fighting Game ports, Code Mystics, allowing features such as creating a lobby match while waiting in either practice mode or while waiting in single player mode. Next, you have your go-to settings for lobbies that has become the norm with Code Mystic ports as of late. You have your lobby size options ranging from 2 players all the way up to 9, the ability to set lobby as private or not. Then the timer, you have the option to adjust from the normal time of 200 seconds, 230, 270, 60, and 100. Set whether or not hidden characters are playable or not, those characters being King Leo and Jiaozu. Again, hovering over Gozu, you can tap up and play Jiaozu, or go over to King Lion and tap up and you get to play King Leo. But once again, because they are boss characters, they do not get teammates, they play solo dolo. Adjust the difficulty level of the CPU ranging from 1 all the way to 8, which if you do that on 8, then good luck to you, because remember, this is an SNK game and an old SNK game at that. Set whether blood is on or off, which is a nice little touch. And finally, the type of lobby you can play in. Same as Real Bout 2's port, you have the option of normal, single elimination, double elimination, and round robin. For the last bit of online modes, you of course have the playback feature allowing you to take advantage of this replay takeover feature, but keep in mind it saves the last 9 online matches and those match recordings will be lost if the game is restarted. In regards to online, you have leaderboards and achievements. You have leaderboards for single play, allowing you to view the top ranking scores in single player offline arcade mode. Then there's the team play showing the scores for offline co-op arcade mode. Total wins showing your ranking amongst the most combined wins for any character in online multiplayer. And lastly, character wins, seeing your ranking among the most wins for each character in online as well. And of course, as you play throughout the game, you unlock achievements that appear with different icons you can set as your avatar. Moving on, we have the options. For For options, it's much of what you expect. System-wise, you can change the language. There's of course setting the max input delay, minimum input delay, with the option between variable or fixed. Option to show input delay either while spectating, on or off, or only when playing, and then the option to show names or not. Then you have your sound settings, of course adjusting the game volume, menu effects, and music volume. And like Real About 2's port, you have the jukebox option letting you listen to the music tracks of the game and being able to select one of them to be your main menu song. Me personally, I had to go with the credits theme Sorrow. This has a very somber melody to it and I just couldn't resist. Unfortunately, this doesn't seem to have the arranged versions of this song, but maybe SNK and Code Mystics could make an update with adding the arranged soundtrack in the port maybe down the line, because I went to go and listen to the arranged version of the OST and yeah, this definitely needs to be added at some point. So again, if this is something you all would like in a future update and in future game ports, let SNK and Code Mystics know, but let them know politely. There's no reason to go harassing them or saying crazy things, but we can definitely let them know what we would like in this port and future ports down the line. Then finally, you got whether or not you want to have the game muted when the window is focused or not focused. Video options, you have your scanline options ranging from 0% to 50 to 100% scan lines. After that, you have your smooth image option, which, like I said in my last review with the Real About 2 port, I have no idea why someone would even want to turn this on because it just makes the game look blurry, but to each their own, I guess. Then you have the option for full screen or not, resolution options, VSync options, flicker filter, and of course your frame art options, allowing you to choose between 4 different unique art panels on the side of your screen. Then you have the option to stretch the screen and the option to not have any panels and it just be completely black. For the last bit with options, you have controller settings as well as keyboard settings, so depending on what you like to use, you can go in and adjust those buttons to your liking as well as adjust them for all 4 players having their own individual settings. By the way, all of this can be done within the practice mode of the game, as well as you never have to go all the way back to the main menu to make these changes except for the system options. When you start the game, of course, you're greeted with the intro and the characters that goes on to show off how the game works and the buttons, classic arcade stuff. But from there you reach the main menu with Kim on your screen and the game logo on the right. You have your gallery mode and are provided with some really high quality art of posters and character art, and even new art made by Isuke Ogura himself, and this is fantastic, like genuinely beautiful to look at. And like the Real About 2 port, all of these images you see can be made as your avatar in the game. There's even a version of the game poster that was an initial draft that differs from the final versions. After all of what we discussed with some of the lore and features in the game and presentation, I want to give you all my just overall thoughts on the game itself and just what it was like playing this. This was my first time ever playing Kizuna Encounter, like ever. I've always heard about the game even well before I was making videos, but I especially started hearing about it more and more because of you all watching. Every video, every post in the community tab, every tweet, everyone in my community and the greater whole of the SNK community will comment constantly about Kizuna Encounter. When will SNK bring Kizuna Encounter back? When are we going to get a port? So when I got contacted by SNK about this opportunity, I was extremely excited about all of this, both because I got a chance to play the game that so many love, but also because I know that for a lot of you watching, especially in my community, y'all really love this game and its characters. This game, for lack of fancy terms and whatnot, is just dope as hell. The backgrounds are set and detailed to hell, like it's just beautiful. This is up there to me in their art, like in terms of stages, this is up there. I might even say I like this more than Real Bout 2's art. And that's saying something. The stages here just catch my attention way more. So maybe I'm just being biased, but I like it way more here than Real Bout 2. The characters, while yes, could be argued look like they came out of a cheesy action future film from the 90s, they hold a charm to them. I mean, just looking at Kim Sung-il, I finally understand what y'all were talking about with this dude. He's literally Kim Cap-Wom, but with the power pole, cooler clothes and shades. Like, this dude is cool as hell, and I pray someday we get him in a new fighting game. Also, I have no clue if he's related to Kim actually, but in my headcanon, I just like to imagine he's a descendant. But even besides that, this game is rather unique because on the one hand, it feels like Fatal Fury with its combo structure, but then it has elements of Samurai Showdown with you being able to lose your weapon due to attacks, not to mention the KOF-isms with you spot dodging and rolling past opponents and dodging attacks. Then coupled with the tag system makes this one of SNK's most unique fighters to me personally. In so many ways, it's similar to the games SNK was making at that time, but oddly enough, I can say that, at least from my POV, it's still wholly unique. As far as old fighting games go, this is probably one of the most fun ones I've played in a while. And if you know anything about old fighting games, they can be kind of jank and not hold up as they once did back in the day. But of course comes what the most important bit of info regarding this port is the pricing. This game will be priced at $20, the same as Real Bout Fatal Fury 2 port, but on release, SNK will have a sale for the Kizuna Encounter Super Tag Battle with a 25% off sale from October 11th to the 19th, making the game $15 on sale, which makes me very happy to share this news with you all, and that it seems like SNK is acknowledging everyone's gripes with the previous port pricing. I know that nowadays every dollar counts and have to make the most of it, and with this new initiative from SNK and bringing back their older games into the modern era, we all want to be able to enjoy them while at the same time getting the most value from our spending. So again, happy to share that with this game, we'll have a sale on release from the 11th to the 19th of October, 25% off. That's not exactly what we fans are hoping for with having a full-on collection, but this bit of change, we can say that there is a chance for them to continue hearing us out and maybe one day get those collections. So after everything we've talked about, there's only one thing left I have to say, and that's, what are your thoughts? Did you think Kizuna Encounter would be the next game to get a port? Do you plan on getting it? Have you ever played Kizuna Encounter before? And if so, when did you play it? In the arcades or on the Neo Geo? And who's your favorite team to play? And if you haven't played before, what did you think of these characters and just the port overall? Comment down below and I'll try to get back to you. Again, special thanks to SNK for reaching out and providing me with a copy to review for you all, and shout out to Code Mystics for once again dropping another banger of a port. If you like what you saw and would like to see more, then please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe for more, and don't forget to tap that bell icon. And while you're at it, let's try to get this video to 80 likes. Till next time, on DecepySwag, later.